Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an actual season episode of the Red Zone podcast. My name is Riley Davis, and I'm joined with my wonderful and amazing, fantastic co-host as always.
Nate Cohen, welcome back, everyone. The Red Zone podcast has miraculously been renewed for a third season.
Oh
We
my
are back,
gosh.
different locations, but the same podcast. We have we have expectations to talk about. We have games to talk about. We have a whole year to look at. But most importantly, college
College football's
football is back,
back.
everyone. The sport we
Best
love.
time of the
Well, so
year.
technically it's been back for a week, but we don't cover week zero. So college
We
football is
lump it
fully
into this
back.
episode.
Um, we're back. We are both in new spaces,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool, pretty good for us. Look at us in our own places.
My
Um,
wall art,
wow, look at my I got my
bulletin
hats.
board,
I got my bulletin
fire.
board. Kurt Signetti autograph right there.
Okay.
Um, we're here, and it was a pretty good first week of college football.
I
If
would
your
say
name
so.
was everyone, if you weren't Nate Cohen, but we will get to it when we get to it. Um, we had games from Thursday to Monday. We have a
Beautiful.
lot to cover, a lot of talking points, a lot of narratives, but of course, it's college football. There are always going to be narratives. Riley, what have you been up to since the preseason predictions?
Band.
Cool.
As I've said last season, I am in the Carolina band, so that is the last like 2 weeks of ish of my summer, and that's what I've been doing as well. And so
Wow.
obviously we got to go down to Atlanta, which was hype for the Aflac Kickoff Bowl. Somewhere around here is my little Aflac duck, very cute.
You got
But
the
yeah,
Aflac
things have
duck?
been. I did. I got a little
That's a
Aflac
goat
duck.
mas. That's a goat mascot.
Yeah, if you squeeze the tail, he screams Aflac, and it's beautiful. It's one of my
That's
favorite things,
awesome.
actually. Um, but it's been pretty hype. We've been good. Obviously, you can tell a little bit from my voice that I was screaming. Um, I've never done that before.
Oh,
I've never come
not
up onto
like
the
the thousand
podcast.
times last, the thousand times last year.
Yeah, I've never come onto the podcast with a sore voice from screaming at football.
Cough rivalry week.
Rivalry week, I
I
was
don't think I've
screaming, and then you
ever seen
tack
a
on the
single
fact that I
person
was also sick as a dog. So
more sickly
I
than
yeah. I think I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but literally I had just gone to the doctor, I had gotten an antibiotic. I literally I had to take it with food, so literally I logged onto the Zoom with half a sandwich in my face, took a pill for my antibiotic and said, "Okay, let's do this."
that is true. Riley did do that. Um,
And then you can witness the downfall throughout the episode.
I think it
But
peaks at
yeah,
you asking what a tiger is.
yeah, truly going insane because that's off of a week of Macy's, rivalry week, being sick, and then just straight into school again. And then it's just like that was what was going on at the time. So we were thriving.
We
But
were.
yeah, um, college football's back, and obviously I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited to be talking weekly about it. It's always a highlight. And
It
hopefully
is, isn't it?
people are ex the fans are excited for us to be back and
I
talking
mean,
again.
hey, we developed a small audience over the summer posting clips, which by the way, clips will be posted after the podcast during the week. Pile highlights, reactions to games. So obviously that's not an excuse. You still have to watch the whole podcast. But say for instance something
Watch your
bad
favorite
happens,
moments
you can watch your
back
favorite moment.
again.
Say for instance your dog just like throws up everywhere and it's a medical emergency and you got to go to the vet. You don't have time to listen to us for an hour. We got highlights. But that's not an excuse. You got to watch the whole thing.
But then go back
Dog
later
or
when you
no
have
dog.
time. When you have time
Dog.
later,
Yeah,
watch the
yeah,
whole thing.
yeah. Well, since we recorded preseason, nothing has happened to me other than I had a take age horrendously poor, which we will talk about when we talk about it. My arm is still broken, but it's getting better, still with the sleeve.
It's not
And I
fully
have
broken though.
No, 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 no. It's healed. We're 3 months post-op at this point.
We're
And we're
killing
doing
it.
good, man. We're thriving. And speaking of thriving, what did you think? Speaking of thriving, which teams thrived? There we go. Got the segue.
That
Which
was
teams
beautiful.
thrived, which teams didn't. Week one taught us a lot. We learned a lot about some teams, didn't learn a lot
Some
about other
teams that were
teams.
interesting in week 0 were choking in week
Also
1.
interesting in week two. And we will look ahead to week two, see what's going on there. And it's the red zone you know and love. We would go with news, but there's not a lot here, and also we're trying to maybe not have hour and 15-minute long podcasts like we did last year.
So
So
we're
let's hop
cruising.
into the rankings. Your
Do we want to
rankings
start
have
with
changed a lot.
they have a
Um,
lot of
let's
movers
go.
this week.
There's a lot of movers, a lot of fallers. Let's go top to bottom. Ohio State takes the number one position after a absolute clattering of Texas. Penn State takes number two, stays at number two. LSU, after a statement road win against Clemson, moves up 6 spots to the third position. Georgia moves up one. Miami, after a statement win against Notre Dame, moves up five. Oregon moves up one. Texas drops six. Clemson drops four. Notre Dame drops three. Your boys, South Carolina, enter the top 10 in the AP poll for the first time, I'm pretty sure, since like 2000, and
Yes,
it's been a bit.
it's been a hot
South
second.
Carolina at 10, Illinois, Arizona State swap, Florida up 2. Florida State, after a statement win against Alabama, moves up to 14. Michigan drops 1. Iowa State moves up 6. Of course, they won Farmageddon in Dublin. SMU drops 1. Oklahoma and A&M remain the same. Ole Miss goes up 1. Bama, after an embarrassing performance, drops 13 positions down to 21, making them our biggest faller of the week. Tennessee up 2. Indiana down 3. Texas Tech down 1, and Utah into 25 from unranked, with the two teams dropping from the ranks being Boise State and Kansas State, after embarrassing losses for both of them. There we go. Those are your
Damn.
rankings. Well, we
Are we gonna
rapid
talk
fire at the
about
red
them?
zone. Let's talk about it. First of all,
Um,
Ohio State jumping up to number one after Texas. There was a little bit of thought about whether or not that would have just been Penn State, but overall, you beat the one team. You become the one team, in my opinion, if you're in
you
that
also
little
won
echelon of the
the
top
national
five.
championship.
They did, but if you remember correctly, they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
three going into that game against
I do know.
Texas.
I do remember.
Um, LSU up to three is a lot higher than I thought the committee would put them, but to be fair, they looked pretty good against Clemson,
I'm
so
glad that Clemson has
sure.
fallen. That's my highlight of the week is Clemson now at 8. Still a little high
Yep.
for my taste, I'm not
Texas
gonna lie.
Texas drops 6 positions. I could have seen it being more, given they were pretty offensively inept in that game. Defense looked good, but need to see both sides of the ball there. Notre Dame drops three. South Carolina up three. I'm honestly surprised how high they put Florida State.
I
Unranked to
am too. I
14th
was literally,
is
yeah, I was gonna
quite the
ask
jump.
about that because I mean, I understand y'all getting punished. So sorry. But because of like
I
the
thought we were going to
loss that
be
it was.
unranked. I'm
Really?
going to be dead honest. I
Well,
thought we were going to be unranked.
hey, 21 then you're skating by. But like, I don't know. I feel like they should enter them in at like maybe 19 like
Yeah, 19 or
ish.
18. I mean,
Yeah,
Florida
like
State looked
it's
good.
still yeah. They definitely were not the Florida State team that was present last year. So,
No, no, this is a
um,
much different team.
it's a different week 1 for them than what last year. Much
Yeah,
different.
they had a rough start to their year last year. Um,
Utah
and yeah,
entering after beating UCLA earlier.
yeet, it
The
Nico
2-0.
Iamaleava.
Good stuff.
So good
I don't know
stuff.
if I've oh, Indiana falling 3.
Feels a little
Disappointing.
harsh. We won, but we didn't win. We didn't play
Didn't
great,
win good
but
enough.
dropping us three feels a little harsh. I would have seen us dropping one, probably. But we're still fighting for respect even after last year. So makes sense. I mean, to be fair, they played pretty poorly against FIU in game one last year, but no one cared because no one thought we were going to be good. So, these things happen. I'm not worried.
Seeing how the rest of
We'll
the
see.
season goes.
The issue with this style of scheduling that we do is I really don't think we're going to learn a lot about this Indiana team until they play Illinois in 3 weeks. So
Hmm.
we're just kind of chilling. We're chilling. we're waiting to see what happens. I really wish. I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about the Indiana game when we get to it, but other than that, three positions felt a little harsh. BYU also, I guess, 26th in the rankings. Um, if you
Nice.
follow that, I think one of my favorite things is always seeing who just throws votes at people randomly. In the coaches
Navy?
poll, Navy getting two votes makes sense. I mean, they were pretty good last year, but like in the coaches poll, Florida International getting one vote is kind of funny.
Kansas State is
I
still
don't know.
receiving votes.
Uh, that makes sense.
South Florida getting
Um,
some does make sense because they freaking
They
walloped
mollywopped Boise
Boise.
State.
That was
Yeah,
literally
they
like
dropped a train on them.
brutal. Um,
Yeah, that was rough. Um, but yeah, I mean it makes sense. Everything makes sense to me with the rankings. It's week one. Not a lot of teams that we thought were gonna lose to teams they should have beat. I mean, I think really only the team that lost to a team they should have beat was Bama. Um, so
South Florida, Kansas, or
I guess
Kansas State
Boise
won, but
State, yeah. But I
yeah,
mean, in Kansas State's defense, they won. They just didn't win very well, and they got beat by Iowa State the week before, which is a good
did.
segue into us talking about week
Week
zero.
0 in
Week zero
Ireland.
had is it's becoming a tradition now to send two of America's finest over to the Isle of the Emerald Isle. That's the name. It's sending
People
two of
were,
America's
we
best to the
very
Emerald Isle.
adamantly said that we're trying to take over America last season.
We did. But you know what they thought? You know what they said? They're like, all right, let's send our best. You get Farmageddon. And everyone's like, all right, cool. They sent one of
Alrighty.
college football's. And you know what? I'm not going to have this. ESPN didn't refer to it as, I think ESPN was like trying not to refer to it as Farmageddon. And, shame on them. Either I saw some report that either they're trying to move away from calling it Farmageddon or they did call it Farmageddon on the broadcast and was like, I don't know. But I did see a report saying they were trying to move away from calling it Farmageddon, which
That's
shame on
lame.
you. That's one of the best
Have
rivalry nicknames in
fun.
sports. But let's talk
It's
about this
college
game.
football. It's meant to be fun.
This game was on just copious amounts of drugs. This is one of the
It's like
most just
the
just
returning blows back and forth type game.
except like instead of returning blows back and forth, it's like a boxing fight if both the competitors just kept falling on their face. Let me read you this drive chart.
Blows to the
Fumble,
floor.
fumble, muffed punt, leading to another fumble, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, touchdown, touchdown, fumble, downs, 3 and out, fumble, missed field goal, punt. What a first half. This was very looking like it was going to get slotted into one of the best football games I've ever watched territory in the first half. If it had continued at that, 100% that game would have been in my top 10 at the end of the year. But the second half kind of mellowed out a little bit. And by mellowed out, I mean instead of fumbling all the time, they just started scoring touchdowns and turning it over on downs. Cough, cough,
Very
Kansas
mellow.
State. Um, but yeah, this is a
Dave, how
great
many
game.
turnovers
What
did they
a
have?
what
Two
a
in the second
start to the
half?
season we had in Dublin, Ireland for you guys. Um, Really fun game. Like the field conditions were awful. There was
My
raining. You
God, it
couldn't
was
see the hash
ugly.
marks. You couldn't see the hash marks. It looked like they were playing on a soccer pitch. It was, oh man, peak
Were they
college
not?
football. No, I mean they
What
were,
is that
but
stadium? I was about to say.
usually, I mean, as someone who, not to toot my own horn, studied abroad in Dublin 2 years ago, I have been to the stadium that this took place in, and it's pretty nice. But it is
Nice.
a
I'll
soccer
I'll
field.
believe
But
you.
usually when they play at soccer fields, they do a pretty good job of making it look like a football field.
No,
Not
there's you
this
can
time.
barely see the lines. You can
It
barely
was
see any.
pouring. It was like,
No.
dude, man, peak college football
Ireland
here.
was Irelanding.
There was four turnovers in this game, and all of them were fumbles, which is just incredible. There was seven fourth downs attempted. Iowa State went 3 for 3. Kansas State went one for
Jeez.
four, including quite possibly the stupidest play call I have seen in a hot minute on the turnover on downs in the fourth quarter, where Kansas State decided to go for it on a 4th and 1 on their own 30-yard line, which went nowhere, and then Iowa State immediately scored to put the game out of reach. I don't understand this play call. Um, at this point, maybe you're thinking that your defense isn't doing enough to stop them, but also, let's be fair, this game was so bipolar that really anything could have happened the moment that Kansas State decided they wanted to start punting if they wanted to play defense. So this was kind of stupid. They also weren't very good on fourth down at all this game. They were 1 for 4, didn't do much, and yeah, it just kind of led to Iowa State. I'm gonna admit, not doing much, but doing enough to win, which is what the story with them last
Yeah.
year was, which is they were good. They did in the second half, they did everything they needed to do to win. The issue is when they start playing good teams, how is that going to relate? But whatever. I'm willing to give both of these teams a relative pass because of the shitty field conditions and the first game of the season and the being in Ireland and the just whole nature of this. But yeah, really fun, just great
I
opener
mean,
to start the
that
year.
pass doesn't live up for later for
No, no, no,
Kansas
no, no.
State.
Kansas State does not get
Okay.
access to this pass when we start talking about week one,
Okay,
um,
got it. I
at
was like,
all. But I'm talking about like right now,
right
for
now,
this, for that
not barely
game,
being able to
I
see
will
the
give them a
field, barely.
pass. But
Got
just
it.
when we talk about their performance in week one, we will not be as nice. Um, and so other notable things to happen: the Dan Mullen era at UNLV kicked off with them allowing 500 yards to Idaho State and barely winning there. So
Cute.
that was a team that was competing for the Group of Five spot in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they were. Because I remember talking about them a lot. Well, not a lot, but like a decent bit
Yeah,
more
they
than
were
I
up
ever
against it with
expected to
Boise.
be talking about UNLV.
You know? And then the other big thing to happen from week 0 was Stanford being Stanford and losing
Oh
to
my
Hawaii
God.
on a kick from a kicker who learned how to kick off YouTube.
That's literally, yeah, because literally, okay, I was like busy during the time of this game, so I didn't get to watch it. But then every single clip that I ever saw from this game was just mistake after mistake from Hawaii and literally like just technical things that like would just give Stanford the ball or like give them a great position or like whatever. Like literally calling a fair catch, but it bounced off of him onto like the one and then like the guy from Stanford. Like literally everything that I've seen from this game, it was just like, how did you lose that? How did you
Because it's
lose?
Stanford.
Oof, crazy stuff.
Rough
I
one to
literally, I
start for the
was like, oh
Cardinal.
my God. Yeah,
But
very
I think
rough.
that's kind of everything from week 0.
I think
Um,
so.
and now we can move to week
We're
1 proper.
switching
And
up the order a little
we
bit
are
this
switching up the
season.
order. We're going to talk about our teams at the beginning this time, try to get some of that audience retention if we haven't already lost you guys with our awful
Us
takes.
crashing, we're gonna crash out early on, and then we'll just
Well,
like be cruising.
not all of us are going to crash out. But we can start. We'll do the same thing we did last year, which is one of mine, one of Riley's, one of mine. Um,
I'm
and
sandwiched.
I'm gonna start with Indiana. Just get this out of the way. Not their best. I think that's pretty easy to say. Letting a 75-yard touchdown on the first play of the game was an indication that maybe they weren't going to be on their best. Fumbling early as well on a run by Lee Beebe, who to that point it was his first touch, turning it over on downs on the 1 yard line. Let me get all the negatives out of the way first, and I'll talk about what I actually liked. Red zone offense was very bad. Um, pretty poor. Yeah. I don't quite understand what happened. We have a new offensive coordinator, so it's probably that. But boy, their red zone efficiency was bad. Really anemic when they got in there. Couldn't really do much. But yeah, that's hopefully a problem that gets fixed. I thought the run defense was also pretty poor. Old Dominion's 2 touchdowns came on a 75 and 78-yard rush. Um, Other than that, not a lot of issues. I think this is kind of similar to last year when they came out very poorly against FIU. No one really remembers it though because everyone left in the second half. And the same thing happened here, but at least this time we skydived our bison in. Indiana has a new mascot and it got skydived in. So we just looked up in the student section and there was just a giant bison, a little
Out
bison
there.
fuzzy mascot being delivered by God himself to the
My
Hoosier faithful.
God.
He actually came in very hot. We all thought he was going to break his legs, but he did not. So that's nice.
Good for him.
Um, It's like if you've watched the Formula One clip of the guy falling out of the sky in the Austrian Grand Prix that one time. It was kind of giving a little bit of vibes of that, so we were a
I
little
was just gonna
scared.
say like the um whose mascot is that? That's like in the NHL, their mascot's like a troll, and that's how they revealed him too, is they lowered him from the arena ceiling and he just like crawled around. It was freaky.
That is freaky.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the good. We don't want to talk about the bad. We have to save that for my other team. I thought the running game was incredible. Was just like incredible. 300 rushing yards on 57 attempts. They really do look like they have a two-headed horse here in Roman Hemby, transfer from Maryland, and Kalen Black, who I was really impressed with last year. I'm pretty sure I am on record on this podcast saying I had a lot of
I
faith in
think so.
Kalen. He looked shifty, very Le'Veon Bell-esque in the backfield, with Hemby being more the power back. But hey, man, if they can get a two-headed rushing attack going, that'll be very necessary because last year the rushing game was good, but wasn't able to take us out of situations. And games like today, like a few days ago, when the passing wasn't incredible, um, they were able to hold their weight. I thought Mendoza looked fine. I wasn't really like awed by him. Um, but he made a few good passes here and there. Really need to make sure that we get Elijah Surratt going. He was very just kind of nowhere. Very nondescript day for Elijah. 3 catches for 44 yards. Um, and really, all of those came in garbage time. He did not register a catch in the first half, I'm pretty sure. Um, so for someone who is widely considered to be a top 10 wide receiver in the country, I'm a little surprised we didn't use him more. Really happy with EJ Williams Jr. 5 catches for 45 yards. He really looked like he was the wide receiver one, even if Omar Cooper had more receiving yards. EJ Williams looked like he was really the main guy in the passing game. I also thought the pass coverage was really good, which was an issue last year. They got 3 interceptions. I mean, they play Old Dominion. That's kind of what you expect. But yeah, overall, they're fine. They will be fine. We'll see if they look pretty bad against Kennesaw State. I'll be worried, but to be right now, not really worried. This is to be expected. I think this is still a much better team than it was last year, but they need to get their kinks sorted out. So yeah,
Perfect.
you want to
Nice.
talk about your Gamecocks?
I would love to. I would like to first headline this whole little spiel with Lenore Sellers, I owe you my life. Um, Heisman, as people on the campus have been referring to him. Um,
I
Freaking
hope you
Sellers,
guys lose
bro.
all of your games
Thanks.
simply
That's so
for the rest of the
nice.
season, simply for
Uh,
La Heisman.
Heisman. Oh, it's
I
all
hate
it's
this.
everywhere. I love
Not
it.
you're not doing a LeBron James gimmick for Lenora Sellers, are you?
Heisman.
La Heisman.
Heisman. Anyways,
That is
let
good.
me
That is good.
speak on this man's talent. First of all, to start off the game with his freaking 15-yard running touchdown. Oh my God. Literally chills. Anyways, beautiful way to start the game, honestly. Like I can't with this man. A beautiful pass for the last touchdown to Nick Harbor. Again, okay, this is a mix in with like one of my grievances and also just like this is a grievance, but then it's a grievance that also allows me to just like cheer on Sellers even more. Is the fact that I've brought up frequently about issues with our O line and the fact that that's not really haven't been the most
I was wondering if you were going to mention
helpful.
the O line.
But the reason that I also have to bring up the O-line while talking about how freaking godlike Lenora Sellers is after literally this man was evading sacks a good bit of this game, but we're not gonna like man almost got tackled twice and then still ran and got the first down. So again, Sellers looked really good. I looked really good. Like his brother is back on our team now, which I like is also pumped. Um, so like I'm not gonna lie, the main highlight of this is Lenore Sellers because I have complete faith in him. I think he's got a lot more confidence than like how he did starting off last season. And he's like kind of starting off where we ended last season, where he like kind of felt more confident about like going into things or just like running plays, passing the ball. Like he's good at running and He's been very successful with it as well. That being said, we do need to protect him, please, more because there's no reason that he should be getting sacked, what, like twice this game, I
Your
believe.
boy was running for your life out there.
He really was. And I'm like, guys, he's literally like, as I just said, this man is carrying. There is no way that he should not be able to just do his job, and you need to protect him. But that being said, I am very impressed with him and his performance this game. It was absolutely insane. And I'm very hype about it. My other slight little grievance is it's always the O-line and the defense. It's never anything else. But literally, like with the defense, yes, we held Virginia Tech to no touchdowns, which is really good. Like, however, don't let them get down the field to make field goals. Just don't. So like it was kind of like a weird dynamic with the defense of like just like letting them get yardage, letting them get a little bit, but then you lock in kind of at the last second. You don't let them actually get a touchdown, but it's like they're still scoring. And it's like, yeah, it's not a touchdown, but you're still allowing them points, and you shouldn't allow them the points anyway. But that being said, defense did lock in the fourth quarter with a sack and like really not letting them move. So that was really good. Um, very shout out to special teams. Vakari Swain running back a punt return for a touchdown,
Hey, punt
84
return
yards,
touchdown
I think.
twins.
Yeah,
We had
man,
one. We had a
84
90
yards,
yard
I
one in
think.
our. We had a
Yeah,
90-yard one in
it
our game.
apparently is our first punt return touchdown since like 2012, someone said. And I was like, oh. And at first I was like really confused. I was like, no, because Debo Samuel, but I was like, no, he just did like kickoff returns. But yeah, so hopefully there's more of those. But yeah, shout out Vakari Swain, freaking eating it up. Shout out Nick Harbor as well, a god as well. Beautiful catch for a touchdown, our last touchdown. An overturned touchdown as well, which I don't know if I 100% agree with the ruling on that. Just
I think it
because
was
to me
a little.
personally,
It was a little
what?
hit. I didn't really have an idea whether or not I thought that was in or not.
It's
I
kind of,
thought it looked
yeah.
out to me on replay, but
It like some of the replays, it looks like he doesn't like it looks out, but then another angles like it looks like he definitely has hands on the ball and he takes like 3 steps. So who knows? We still won though. So I like if we had lost, I would be a little more salty about an overturned touchdown because I'd be like that could have been the turning point. And there was like another
LSU.
overturned. Yeah, I was about to say we'll probably talk about that later. But
No, the
overall,
LSU
like
game from last year
oh,
would
I
have
was
been
gonna
another
say
of that
this
situation.
week as well.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
The LSU game this week as well against Clemson. But yeah, overall, I'm not like disappointed with it. This week should be an easy week just because it's SC State, so hopefully it will
be
be an
shocked
easy
if that
week.
wasn't easy.
I would be really shocked. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm like not disappointed with the performance. It was a hype game, obviously, from the way I was yelling, and it was a hype way to start it and a good way to end it as well. Um, but yeah, I'm very hopeful, which is never good. I feel like
Nope,
because never ends up how you want it to. But
it does not.
hey, we'll see. And but like as of now, I'm feeling pretty confident with the Gamecocks are, and I'm very confident in Lenora Sellers. So yeah, feeling pretty good.
I would too. I'll give my little brief thoughts on this game. I thought South Carolina. I texted my dad on after the first drive and said, "Oh boy, this looks like a scary football team." Luckily for me, South Carolina never really got back to that offensive efficiency they had on the first drive.
Not till like
Um,
fourth quarter.
no. I think South Carolina looked really good. If I was to throw anything against them, I think the offense was a little too inconsistent for my liking. After that first
Yeah,
touchdown in the first quarter, they really struggled to do anything else the first half. Um, they let Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was in that for pretty much the whole game until the Nick Harbor touchdown.
yeah.
Um,
That's why I
and
was so frustrated with the defense of like letting them get field goals each
I
time,
think
and
I
it's
think
like
the
you gotta
defense played
stop.
well. I,
Mm-mm.
I think I think defense played well. I think they locked down when they needed to. Allowing just field goals is not really ever an issue in my opinion. I would pretty much put this more on the offense than I would the defense, simply because I think just the execution was a little too iffy. Um, I think sometimes relying too much on Sellers or just not relying enough on the run game. I need to fully test your rushing yards. Yeah, 125 rushing yards isn't bad, but at least in the first half, run game seemed kind of non-existent if it wasn't Sellers. I do think this is a very good South Carolina team. I would be shocked. I think they're a dark horse Indiana type team where I could really see them running the table this year and making the playoffs. Um, this is a very good team if they piece it all together. It just comes down to Beamer at that point, I think. But this is a very good South Carolina team. I really liked what I saw out of them
I
in
feel good about it.
the Benz
Again, I
on
just it's
Sunday.
just the O line that I need to like lock in, Loki.
Anyway, should we talk about I want to preface this by playing a clip from our preseason predictions video. I'm saying this. Okay. This is going to sound like insane bias. I think Alabama rises back to the national championship next year. I have a few reasons for this. I thought about this. So I'm redacting that statement after Saturday.
You know what's crazy is I was talking to somebody and like who I guess like who wasn't watching and I literally was texting them. I was like, Alabama's losing right now. And it was before the half. And then someone who watches this podcast it literally texted me back saying, didn't Nate say they were going to the national championship? So
Um, all right. I'm gonna do an opposite of what I usually do for this, and I'm gonna get the positives out of the way, and then I'm gonna talk about the negatives. Because believe it or not, there are some positives. The first
got it.
drive was really good. It was like an 18 play, 75-yard drive where Ty Simpson looked like he was in command. According to my dad, the second drive was also very good until the missed field goal. Um, I thought Gurmy Bernard was very good. I mean, I don't think he should be getting 8 receptions for 146 yards. I don't think that's sustainable, but I mean, it's nice to see him step up. Um, Defense locked down in the second half when they needed to, except for that one drive. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's the positives. Let's talk about the negatives. This is the same Alabama team it was last year. I noticed that in the possession where Florida State goes up 31-17, that this is the same team. Just paper, Charmin soft. This kind of feels like the same shit with a different wrapper. Um, I'm I have a lot of faith in Ty Simpson, and I think he honestly, for all the people shitting on him, he played much better than Arch Manning and Julian Sayin and the other
Lord,
rookie
not
quarterbacks
Arch
starting
Manning.
this week. So, hey man, honestly, it wasn't an awful day from Ty. He went 23 for 43, 254, and 2 touchdowns. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's better than Milrow throwing wise last season, so I guess that's another positive. I thought the rushing game was kind of anemic, which is unfortunate given that they really do have a pretty good rushing core. I assume that's due to Jam Miller's preseason injury, but I don't know. Um, yeah, man, just a gutless performance from this team. Walking in, I mean, Florida State's not an easy place to play, but I also remember a time where if Tommy Castellanos said the shit he said back in the day, this team would have made his life a living hell for 4 quarters, and they just kind of let him do whatever he wanted. I was pretty disappointed with this performance. I'm not going to write the whole season off quite yet because
Maybe I can lock in.
they played pretty awful against South Carolina, and they played awful against Vanderbilt and Tennessee, and they were on the fringe of the playoffs. Um, but yeah, man, Ryan Williams also gets concussed during the game on a play that I am genuinely shocked wasn't called targeting. Um, but
That was
yeah, I
literally sorry.
credit to Florida State, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Tommy Castellanos didn't throw the ball very well. 9 for 14 for
But he led
152.
for
He was
rushing
efficient,
yards.
but run defense was pretty awful. Tim Keenan's injured on the defensive line, which may contribute to that. But yeah, man, this team's soft. This is a Charmin soft football team, and if they want to like make a bowl game this year, I'm gonna say that, then they need to shape the fuck up because looking at the schedule, they play Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn in Jordan Hare. That's six losses that this team could potentially have, which would put them at 5-7. This team is
Y'all got a
really in
rough
a rough
schedule.
spot right now.
Jeez.
Um, and I would not be surprised if they hit unranked at one point this year, which would be the first time since I was 1 years old that that happened. Um, yeah, just a disgusting, disgraceful performance from this team. Really bad. Probably the worst I've seen them have in a long time. I would put this over everything from last year. Um, they really need to shape up. They play UL Monroe next week, which, yeah, I know, haha, funny. That's the funny team for Alabama. They beat us in 2007. But they need to win that, beat Wisconsin, try to get some momentum going into Sanford to play in Athens against Georgia. I'm not feeling too confident in that game. But yeah, this team is not very good. This is a very 2001 coded Alabama team, and yeah, man, sucks. They're not very good. They need to shape up. Hopefully, Ryan Williams gets good. I'm not ready to hop on the DeBoer firing bandwagon yet, but the discipline issues I saw and the just general softness will come onto his plate if this persists throughout the entire year. I thought it was also a pretty bad play call day from Ryan Grubb. He's good, but I didn't see enough out of him. I thought it was a little too iffy. And yeah, this is that was a bad performance. That was pretty awful. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess uh yeah, it's just gotta hope they shape up, man. If they don't, they are
Mm.
going to be in deep shit for the next coming weeks. And hey, if they play like that for the rest of the season, they're not going to make a bowl game. Like simple as that, they're going to go 5-7. So hopefully this lights a fire under their ass. Um, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. You have anything
I
to say about the game?
um the bit that I got to watch was literally when Ty Simpson got sacked and like the whole drive that I
Oh,
watched.
yeah, I didn't talk about that. Offensive line play was also
Yeah.
very bad.
Yeah,
Just
that's what
getting
I
that out of
was.
the way.
Well, that's my note from the game is I'm like Ty Simpson looked like he was running for his life when like the plays that I saw and I was like because there's nothing against like his performance. Like, is he a
He's fine.
freshman?
He was totally serviceable. He made a lot of good throws. I thought he was a
Yeah,
better
it's like
passer than
nothing against
Milrow
him for
was.
like two touchdowns is not bad at all. Um, so like
Once again, played better than Sayin and Manning.
yeah, so Arch Manning, Jesus. Um, but I mean, yeah, that was like my main thought when I was watching. I was like, this poor man is running for his life and can't even like do his job. Um,
Nope.
but yeah, it just is weird because it's definitely like not. I don't know. It was just like in part with like Ty Simpson running for his life. It just looked like they were scrambling just as a team in general. It was just I don't know. But like you said, hopefully y'all can shape up and like
It's
lock in for the rest of the season.
frustrating to see that this team is still soft and can't really deal with getting punched in the mouth. I think the issue with them last year was that they were not very great at taking punches. They were good at delivering them. When this team got up, they did well. Like this team didn't
Yeah.
choke games last year with the
That's
exception of
like when
Georgia.
you're down and not
But when
getting
they were
back up.
down, they were down. Yeah. Um yeah, I will move into the normal games. Just I will speed through some of these. Shout out to Dylan Raiola for getting to live out his wet dream of playing in front of Patrick Mahomes, even if it was only for 15
Oh
minutes.
my God.
Shout out Army to completely ruining our run at an undefeated Army Navy game, losing in double overtime to get this Tarleton State. So nice one, Army. You're already disappointing us, and it's been 1 week. So good job, boys. Um,
Tarleton State.
Tarleton State, Tarleton State, Riley. Who the fuck is Tarleton State? The only reason I know who Tarleton State is because they sometimes play basketball against good teams. I think they beat
Sometimes.
Kentucky. I think they beat Kentucky once or Michigan State. But who the fuck is Tarleton State?
Lord. Poor Army.
Bro, dude, you know what? You know what it is? They're distracted. The big guy running the country right now has them clipping grass in DC, and so they can't play football. Like they got him doing little lawn clippings in DC, picking up some trash in Chicago, just being a general nuisance. And so they didn't focus on Tarleton State. Yeah, that's why you got to play the games. Just damn patriotism is killed, and it's been 1 week. We have no chance at an Army Navy undefeated game now.
No, but we could
Those
do. What if they just
bastards.
have one loss?
I would take that. All right, Army goes undefeated for the rest of the year. Mark it now. Um, shout
Another
out
take that might end horribly.
shout out Wake Forest for only being Kennesaw State by 1 point. That's hilarious. Um, and let's talk about the doubleheader on Friday night of the two Power Four games, starting with the Barners against Baylor. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man, God, Auburn looked pretty good. They still don't have a passing game. Don't get me wrong. Their leading rusher was Jackson Arnold, who's their quarterback, who had 16 carries for 137 yards, which I feel like isn't reliable. But man, yeah, they looked fine, didn't they? And
Sorry, that took a lot
on
for you to
Pack
say
Watch
that.
alert, Colorado lost.
Yo,
Woohoo, yeah.
Hayes King is a
Um,
freaking
he's a
crazy
dog, bro. He
quarterback.
gets plus 10 to
Man
all his
ran
stats when his
for
leg,
3 touchdowns.
bro, when his leg gets like broken in half, he turns into a completely different player. What a man.
He's literally
Um,
like, ugh,
I know
crazy.
we've been slightly characterized as a Georgia Tech hate podcast because of the 2 seasons of us shitting on them. That's going to continue. Georgia Tech looked fine. I'm not going to lie. I was not outwardly like impressed by them here.
Hey, but
I think
Hayes King.
they do have Haynes King. I think this will be a pretty good Georgia Tech team.
Keep
I
saying
think 8 wins,
Hayes.
9 wins is their ceiling. Um, but yeah, I think barely beating a pretty not incredible Colorado team is an issue. But hey,
Sidebar.
maybe sidebar.
After both of his kids in the NFL, well, Shiloh got waived and Shadur is now the third string.
Pack watch. We called it. Remember, show up the red zone clip where we said Shiloh Sanders is not very good at football, and he got waived.
Yeah. Well, he got waived for fighting someone, which Loki, I'm
He
like,
got waived
the
for fighting
clip,
one of my
the
boys on the
clip,
Bills.
the clip is legit. Like they, he
I
was
didn't.
all up in his face.
So I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, don't
I don't want to.
punch anybody.
I don't want to come to like Shiloh Sanders' like defense here, but like the Bills player was kind of being an asshole.
I
It kind of
know.
seemed like one of those football things, and then he just got like, don't get me wrong, you can't punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
However, the Bills guy had it coming.
Yeah. And then he got
But
waived. And then
whatever.
is
And then he got
Shadur
waived.
third string now?
He is. He's
Right?
behind
Yeah,
Dylan
for the
Gabriel.
Browns. So just to like
So what do you think the kid
brainstorm,
rankings looking
I
like now?
literally was like, what do we think? Where do we think they fall?
Well, it's
Because
obviously has
Shiloh
to be the
was
person who
already
doesn't play
last, wasn't
football
he?
first. Yeah.
Isn't
It's
first
Deion
like his
Sanders
daughter?
Jun No, it's Deion Sanders Jr.
It is.
Deion
Oh
Sanders
Lord,
Jr.
Junior.
Um, Jr. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Speaking of crazy, let's talk about this Ohio State Texas game. Um,
Yay.
really
Poor
anticipated
Arch Manning.
rematch. Really anticipated rematch of the Cotton Bowl Classic from last year, which I do think is a classic, really good gridiron game. This did if the Cotton Bowl is Ocean's 12, this is this game's Ocean's 8. This game was not great, if I'm gonna be honest. Nothing really happened. It was like what 7-0 at halftime. This
Yes,
was
it wasn't.
this was a rough one for the whole
Was Texas was ranked
interesting
number
game
one
thing.
for the first time in like how many years? Like since in actually ever, right?
Been a bit. No, I think they've started a season one before, but
They have.
yeah.
It was something like since a long time or whatever. Okay. Arch Manning gave an
Can
interesting
we talk about
performance.
the stat line he had going into the fourth quarter, he had 30 passing yards.
Can we
He has
also talk about the
170
fact
passing yards, but that was all just completely like inflated at the
also
end of the game.
17, he's 17 for 30 for completions.
It's a better passing percentage than Ty Simpson had.
He did throw an interesting interception, which
It was a
sucks.
pretty bad throw.
Yeah. I did
But
you see the
okay,
clip of Eli and
yeah,
Peyton watching that? Yeah.
I did not.
I
Oh, the one
think
where it's like the overlaid thing of them with like the Manning cast
yes.
thing. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
And
The
they're both going,
slander I
"Oh,
saw,
oh."
the slander I saw against Arch Manning on Twitter after the game was that was generational hate. I saw someone compare
Yeah,
him
it
to the
was.
kid from Breaking Bad.
I've never watched him. The
People who
Arch
know
Manning
Breaking
slander
Bad
is
will understand how
crazy.
bad that is.
Arch
Yeah,
Manning slander is crazy. Because
he's
I'm like,
he is good.
he wasn't this
I
game.
he was not this game, but to his credit, when it got bad in the fourth quarter, I thought he played his best football in the fourth quarter. But it is a pretty bad performance. Also, let's not completely excuse Julian Sayin here, who also did not do great. 13 for 20,
No.
126 and a touchdown. Very JJ McCarthy game manager type of performance from Sayin, which is like if that's what he needs to do this year, then that's fine. He can be a JJ McCarthy type. But Ohio State, I think, plays too many good teams for him to be able to have to just be a game manager, and they don't have the
Yeah,
talent that that Michigan team had. So
fair enough.
rough one, rough man, rough
Yeah.
performance from both these
I just feel
quarterbacks.
bad. Well, yeah, did you see also his postseason press conference is just like him not happy with
Yeah,
himself. It was low key
he was
heartbreaking.
sad.
He was very sad. Um, we're gonna talk about Boise State because that was
Oh
before this
shit,
game.
right. Yeah, we forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Boise
What
State
the hell,
got
Boise?
what? Also, shout out freaking South Florida's quarterback for running two touchdowns. And the first one is like him avoiding us. Like the first touchdown that South Florida does. First of all, they walloped them 34-7. That's insane. Um, like that's not even like double ranked matchups aren't even like or like some of the like other ranked
You know
matchups
what's
are not
even
these.
funnier about this game? South Florida scored 34 unanswered points.
Yes.
Was okay, ask me this. Was Boise State's whole strategy, fuck it, Genty is down there somewhere? Like, was Genty their whole team? Because it's not like I'm pretty sure they have the same quarterback as last year. Boise, the fake punt, that's like Boise not recognizing that USF put their backup quarterback in at punter instead of their actual punter. That's JV stuff. Like,
It's
Boise,
crazy.
come on.
It's really like just bad.
Man, it sucks when you see a once great Power Four conference team fall to
I
the
mean, but also
wayside.
like good for
I
South
mean,
Florida just
group of
absolutely
five.
being able to get in there and like
Yeah,
wallop them over and
good on
over.
South Florida.
Y'all,
That's a sneaky
good
matchup
job.
for that's a sneaky matchup next week for Florida. They got to play USF.
Yeah.
I'd put them on sneaky
And they were
upset
under
alert.
fire. I would as well, because they were like under fire a lot last season, coach wise. I don't know if you've watched the SEC show on Netflix. Um, you haven't? Well, they
I'm
talk
not.
about like each team, not every team, but like they focus on a team each episode,
Only focused on
and
like
they're
five
talking
teams,
about
right? It was like Florida,
yeah,
Tennessee, LSU, and South Carolina, and like one other, Vandy, I think.
and yeah, but I definitely have seen the Florida episode, and it's literally just Bill Napier talking about like the pressure of not getting or not wanting to get fired,
Everyone wants to fire
which we
me.
talked about last
We did. We
season.
talked about
We were like, oh,
we
he's getting
clocked that.
fired this season
We clocked that at the
for
beginning. Didn't
sure.
we say that in week one? We were like,
We
we think
did.
Billy Napier.
Isn't it? But they talked about like his win. What is his? Hold on. Stall. Because I need to find his like win-lose in Florida.
It's not great.
Isn't it like
I
tied?
I think USF could potentially upset Florida next week. I mean, they probably won't, but you know, it's at least out there. I guess while you're doing this, I'll move on and just get over some scores that we didn't talk about that we forgot. From Friday, Illinois beat Western Illinois 52-3. Um, I dare I say it, Riley. This becomes the first Who Cares of the year.
Wait. Oh, wait, let me lock in.
Would you lock in for me, por favor?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll give it a countdown. Make sure it's
Okay.
good. Three, two, one.
Who
Who cares,
cares?
motherfucker? I gave you a fucking countdown.
Because
We
you didn't
ruined. Oh
talk.
God.
You
All
didn't
right,
say
pack it in.
anything.
Podcast is
This is
disassembling.
why we started doing it one person at a time.
We're packing it up. We're packing it up.
Okay,
This is the
wait, wait,
end of
wait,
the
wait,
Red
wait.
Zone podcast as you
Wait,
know
wait,
it.
wait. Billy Napier has been at Florida since 2021, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a 15-18 overall record.
That's not great.
Nope, not amazing.
Wait, is that has to be conference play, right? 15 and 18?
I think so. I looked up.
There's definitely
Hold
been
on.
more than 33 games since
Yeah,
in the last four
so I
years.
guess it must be Billy Napier record. It just says
Anyway, let's move on to
2+ seasons. Oh shoot, when was he? Wait, when did he become a head coach for Florida?
anyway. Penn State beats Nevada 46 to 11. Who cares? Drew Allar
Beautiful.
looked good. Good for him. And then let's get into the marquee matchup from Saturday. Honestly, in my opinion, I think a game that I was more excited for than Texas Ohio State was LSU
Yes.
Clemson, two teams that were I mean, it's weird to say that they're like not contenders because look at them as LSU and Clemson, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
two teams that like for the last few years have been in this conversation, but this year have been pole vaulted into the national championship contending conversations, and this was a okay game, another defensive struggle. Um, I thought both the quarterbacks looked fine. I thought Klubnik was not great,
I was
but
about to
Nussmeier looked
say.
good. And LSU finally breaks their streak of losing every single one of their opening season games since 2020. So
Nice.
yeah, I think this LSU team's good, and I honestly think the most shocking thing
Makes me
we
scared.
need to take the most shocking thing we need to take from this game is that LSU's defense looked pretty good, and we haven't really been able to say that in a pretty long time. That's a scary team to look out for in the SEC. And on the other side, Clemson. I'll let you pack watch Clemson real quick.
Clemson did not look good. We're just gonna like, I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I have always have hard time saying anything polite about Clemson, but just like, no. Nope. One of my like, I have like a note for things of like what that like I don't forget to talk about, and the note for this game is suck it, Cade. Um, Also, did you see the Dabo and Brian Kelly post game interviews
I did
with Dabo going like, "Oh, it's like we're taking a test. They got like a
on
60 and we got like a
yeah
50 something." He's like, "Both, neither of us did great." And then like, freaking Brian Kelly proceeds to go, "I don't know what he was talking about. Like the fourth quarter, we kind of kicked their ass or something." They said. I was like,
yeah.
"Ugh, funny stuff."
Shout out
Um,
to before we go on. Shout out to Clemson's run offense. Really putting in a seismic performance of 31 yards on 20 carries.
it's
Good
good.
job, Clemson. Good job, Clemens.
Beautiful. Their leading rusher with his 16 yards. Well, we
Wow.
can't leave without talking about the touchdown that got overturned.
Yes.
Okay,
What do you think?
I don't know because I watched it again this morning, and the thing I'm like, he kicks the pylon, but like his feet never went into the end zone, and then it's kind of hard to tell if the ball passes into the end zone. Like it's kind of weird, and I just need like you need like a very specific angle that they don't have available, or at least I haven't seen. And I because like from what it looks like, it's kind of hard to like, I don't know. It was a big pass, and it would have been, I mean they won anyway, but it would have been like, I don't know. It's weird because I like again like it didn't look like he actually walked through the end zone. I don't know. What do you think it is? What'd you call?
It looked like a catch to me on first
Mm,
watch. I just think it was. I think it was one of those things where it's no one really knows what the rules are
Mm,
anymore.
yeah.
Um, in my opinion, it's I the ball hits the turf. I don't think it's a completion if the ball hits the turf, but
Mm,
at that point, and then you're splitting straws about when was he legally down and yada yada yada. I mean, overall, it didn't really matter because the LSU won anyway. But
yeah. It was just like
who
the big
knows?
thing that people are.
That
It's
is the
made the
big thing.
highlights.
It has made our highlights.
No, it's made
Yeah.
like
Also, I thought
like the game highlights is just like
it has.
overturned touchdown.
Also, I thought Cade Klubnik looked just not as good as everyone thought he was going to be this year.
No.
So
Well, cause
fraud
he looked.
watch.
Yeah. Well, I
Just
actually
kidding. I actually
was
think
just
Klubnik's pretty good.
um. Well, there's an interview with him that, funnily enough, was actually they put I think a couple hours after this game, unfortunately for him, where literally it's him talking about like the end of last season or just like last season in general, where he said, "A year ago, everyone told me that I sucked," and ESPN Originals put this out like after this game,
That
and so I
sucks.
think, yeah,
Rough
everyone in
one,
the
ES.
comments is just like,
Rough
"Yeah,
one,
you're
ESPN.
right." Everyone was like, "You still do."
The naysayers had a point.
Yeah, I was like, that's
Um,
just an unfortunate timing for that to come up.
yeah. Do you want to move on?
Sure.
We want to talk. Next game, Georgia beats Marshall 45-7. Just want to say roughly, Georgia didn't impress me this game, man. Just nothing really good coming from this. I think Gunnar Stockton's not gonna be great. Don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. All right, you can go.
Who cares? Yay.
Oregon defeats Montana State 59-13. Who cares?
Beautiful.
Arizona State beats Northern Arizona 38-19.
Who cares?
Michigan beats New Mexico 34-17. I would say this is not a who cares simply because I want to say that Bryce Underwood actually looked pretty good. And Justice Haynes, who couldn't do this last year, rushed for 16 rushed for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns on 16 carries. Thanks, Justice. Would have been really nice if you did this last year for us. Anyway, um,
Cute.
whatever. Uh, Florida beats
Florida walloped
Long
Long
Island
Island University.
55 nothing. Who cares? Um, I mean, I think if there's anything to take from this game, uh, fucking Florida Lagway threw 3 touchdown passes and still wasn't the leading thrower. Um, Leading passer, my bad. SMU beats East Texas A&M 42-13.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Who cares?
Bro, where are they coming up with these colleges? East Texas A&M, bro. What?
Long
Long Island
Island
University?
University.
Dude,
Okay.
week one used to have Sauce and Aura. What the hell are we doing, bro?
Sauce.
It did. It had Sauce, it had Aura, and now we have like two good games. Well, there was a
There was
decent amount
several
of good
good
games,
games.
but a lot of
We
teams
got
playing
we got a
nobodies.
recreation. We got Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Clemson. Personally, I think our game was a little interesting. Um, there's some
I mean, it
pretty
was a
good ones.
primetime game.
Yeah,
Anyway, I think I'm just complaining because all these games are blowouts, but not this one.
not this
Number
one.
17, Kansas
Jeez.
State, barely with a touchdown with 40 seconds left, beats North Dakota. Not even the North Dakota that would have been a little bit excusable to lose to because North Dakota
No,
State is like, honestly, if they lost North Dakota State, I'd be like, all right, man. I mean, that's probably a team you're supposed to beat, but like North Dakota State's North Dakota State. It's not even the right North Dakota.
that's just like,
Unfortunate Kansas State. You deserve to be unranked. Where
yeah.
see,
I was gonna say this is
remember
why we said the
flashback
pass was
30
revoked.
minutes ago? 30 minutes ago where we said we weren't going to be as nice when we got to you in week 1. What the fuck, Kansas State? How'd you almost
What
lose to North
happened?
Dakota?
I just don't understand it.
This is a team, by the way, that is a consensus favorite to play for the Big 12 championship. This conference is the best conference in college football. It's not even close. There's not a single conference that has this level of intrigue. Don't give me that SEC or Big Ten or whatever. It's the Big 12. It's the Big 12. The Big 12 is the best conference.
Okay.
Also, sort your shit out, Kansas State. I picked you to win, or at least I picked you to be there at the end of the year, challenging for the Big 12. I can excuse you losing Farmageddon, but Jesus Christ.
No, because I was about to
Anyway,
say we just talked about like Farmageddon, the weird everything like weird
at least
going into
Iowa
it, but
State's
then it's
good.
like freaking North Dakota? What?
Two.
You
The
won
only
by
reason I know
three.
that the
You
only
won by
reason
a
I know that this
field
team
goal.
exists is because Alabama almost lost them in basketball last year.
That's the only reason you
Like,
know like half of these exist is because of basketball. The teams that
exactly.
sometimes play good people in
Come
basketball.
on, Kansas State. What happened to Avery Johnson? He was supposed to be like top contender. Man, anyway,
Facts.
I shouldn't be this like like pressed about Kansas State, but like, come on,
I mean, they
guys,
fell from the rankings.
they deserved
Deserved. Deserved.
deserved. Moving
Uh,
on, Oklahoma
yeah,
beats
you want to
Illinois
talk about
State.
teams that didn't like we talked about I don't know if we talked about it on here, but like saying that Indiana didn't win like as good as um
At least we won.
like the AP poll wanted them to. You want to talk about who people who didn't win as good as they should have? Freaking Kansas State
Kansas
against
State,
North
yeah,
Dakota. What the heck?
man,
Uh,
whatever, man. Oklahoma beats
Lord.
Illinois State 35-3. Before I who cares this, just point out John Mateer, their starting quarterback was 30 for 37 for 392 yards and three touchdowns. I mean, yeah, they were playing Illinois
That's
State, but that is
scary.
a nasty stat line.
Yeah.
So, very much looking forward to Oklahoma, Michigan this week. That's going to be a big boy banger of a
I was
football
gonna
game.
say highlights.
Also, who cares?
Beautiful.
Texas A&M
And
defeats
then
UTSA
UTSA.
42 to 24. Um, I don't even know if this is a who cares game because like Texas
It's
A&M let
not
UTSA
they
have a
didn't
guy run
like
for 177 yards, and this was kind of close going into the third quarter. So shape
it's
up
hard.
A&M.
It's not a blowout.
No.
But then again,
Iowa State. Ole Miss defeats Georgia State 63-7.
who
Sad.
cares?
Sad. Iowa State defeats South Dakota 55 to 7.
Walloped.
Who cares? Texas
What you
Tech beats
should have
Arkansas
done,
Pine Bluff
Kansas.
67 to 7.
Who cares? Arkansas
Um,
Pine Bluff.
I also know them through basketball. And then in the other Aflac kickoff game, Tennessee beats South Carolina beats Syracuse, my bad. 45 to 26. Um, I'm not gonna give Tennessee compliments, so if you want to say anything nice, be my guest.
I said inside of a pumpkin orange. It's just,
I'm not a dog person. I hate they
Lord.
quarterbacks. Um,
I mean, throwing for three touchdowns, 247 yards, not bad, obviously. And like obviously good on the defense. We love some good sacks.
you
I
giving
don't know.
Tennessee's
They like
defense more praise than you're giving South Carolina's? Because last time I checked,
I
Tennessee
mean, we
allowed
had
point 6
some
points and South Carolina allowed 11.
no,
I
I
think you're
just
being way
don't.
too harsh on your
I'm
defense.
just
I think
like
you're being not
I'm
harsh enough
always
on your
harsh on our
offense and
defense.
too harsh on the defense.
I'm not
But anyway,
harsh on our O-line all the
let
time. Our
let's get
O-line
into
is
our last ranked game
Lord.
from Hard Rock Stadium. It was Miami against Notre Dame in another top 10 matchup. Um,
Carson Beck threw zero
Looked
interceptions.
pretty good.
He
I'm not
did.
gonna lie. He looked
Couldn't have done that at
I
Georgia.
I was talking to a person who may or may not be a podcast guest later this year. We cannot display identity, someone who goes to Georgia, but he was a Carson Beck hater last year. And talking to him
Who
on the
wasn't?
phone, said that my headcanon now is Miami makes the playoffs and beats Georgia off the back of Carson Beck throwing like five touchdowns and no
That would be
interceptions. I think that'd be
hilarious.
pretty funny.
It's like a fan
Um,
fiction.
this was a good game. It had a good big game feel to it, but I'm sorry, I just can't get into any campus games that are played at Hard Rock Stadium. Like, I think Miami just needs a new stadium, like ASAP.
All right, fair enough.
Also,
Maybe
this
Miami
probably
probably
the catch
needed
of the
they
season
needed those
happened in this
six.
game.
Is it $6 million?
I don't know, but
I
I
don't
think the
know.
catch
Probably
of the
was.
season happened in this game.
Is this the
The CJ Daniels touchdown.
mm-hmm.
That was ridiculous. That was some like Madden video game shit. Um, Honestly, I thought Notre Dame looked not great, but they looked better than I thought they would. CJ Carr looked fine. I think what really the main issue today is Jeremiah Love having 10 carries for 33 yards. Like that's probably one of the best running backs in the country, and he didn't do much. Um, so yeah, rough one
May I bring up
for
another honorable mention game? Not
you may.
ranked.
Oh, are we gonna talk about the game that happened? No, are we talking about the game that happened
Yesterday?
Monday? Yeah, 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 Monday.
Yeah. Not yesterday,
We
it's
do we
Wednesday.
is anything else we need to say about this game
I don't think so.
in the
I want
interest of
to talk
time
about
to move on to talk about Jesus fucking
Lord.
Christ, North Carolina. I mean, I knew
Bill
North Carolina didn't really
Belichick's
have talent.
first college football game.
Dude, I know that North Carolina doesn't really have this thing called talent, but like TCU doesn't really either. Um,
Walloped.
Walloped is the correct word. That was a just nasty performance from this team.
Good job, Horned
Just
Frogs.
I saw, so I'm can't take credit for this, but I will say the score difference of this game was looking a lot like the age gap of Bill Belichick and
I
his
saw that
girlfriend.
too. I saw that too.
I mean, roughly, I mean, hey, TCU's score was probably roughly North Carolina's score was probably roughly the age Bill Belichick's girlfriend was when Bill Belichick was 48. So I'm not going to do the math on that. It's actually probably a lot worse than that. Um,
I hope
I
not.
am going to enjoy watching UNC turn into a dumpster fire this year, and I don't even
And
really
it
care about
started
them
in
that
week one.
much.
It's
I
just
will say
funny
this was a
because
successful
everyone
hate
was
watch.
like really interested to see how Bill Belichick would do with college football.
And it
And
looked really good on the first drive.
yep,
Yep.
they did. They had a really hype first drive, and then it was like, oh, okay.
It's just a shame that this it's just a shame that Bill Belichick and his let's just say it un just weirdly low-aged girlfriend couldn't really bring this team. At this point, they're gonna have to resort to playing her at running back or
Didn't they?
quarterback
Didn't
because
she get like banned from the locker room at one point?
I don't know,
Like
man.
that made ESPN news for
Dude,
some reason.
this game was so bad Kirby that Kirk Herbstreit put his dog on commentary.
I saw that. What was his?
North
Is his name
Carolina,
Frank? Is that his dog's
yes.
name? Yeah, cute.
This it's I just cannot believe this happened. Like I thought that like
I thought it would be
let's be
maybe
real.
closer,
Yeah, I didn't think UNC was gonna win, but
but I
like
thought it wouldn't be this.
this is ridiculous.
This is awful.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, that's just maybe don't date a 24-year-old. God damn. Sorry, like
You
age
think
gap stuff
that's
is
why
not
they lost?
no, but I'm just saying like age gap stuff is like obviously it's like a weird thing to talk about, but that age gap is like too much.
Oh, I actually don't know
In
how
my
old Bill
opinion,
Belichick is.
like 5 years is like over that is a little too much for my liking. When you're both 18, by the way. If you're 18 dating like a fucking 13-year-old, but like
No?
sorry. Well, a little harsh, a little harsh. We don't red zone takes a harsh anti policy on pedophilia. In
And we're not
addition to
afraid to
taking
say it.
we're not afraid to say the hard facts that guys, pedophilia is bad. We're just going to say it. We're going to be we're going to be the people that say the hard truth. You know what's also bad? North Carolina's offense and the age
Yep.
gap between Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. And on that note, that is it for the games
That
in
brings us
week
to week
1.
2.
Week 2 has some corkers. I'm not gonna lie. Illinois Duke could be fun. You got El Asico between Iowa and Iowa State. Austin P is going to beat Georgia. Oklahoma State plays Oregon. Ole Miss Kentucky could be fun. As I said, USF Florida's sneaky little upset game. Arizona State, Mississippi State could be fun, and of course your marquee Michigan versus Oklahoma in the 7:30 primetime slot. Riley, we're going to bring it back this year permanently. What was your Trademark. Red zone disappointment of the week.
Kansas State.
Wow. I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
Alabama.
oh, oh yeah, that's fair. Kansas State or Boise State because that's like legit. Like, what are
Not
you doing?
UNC.
I didn't have like expectations for UNC, right? I thought they were gonna crash and burn, not as hardly as they did. But then it's also like there's teams that like Boise State and Kansas State. In theory, you shouldn't not like have to worry about them because I don't really care. But I'm more like, what just happened, kind
You know
of.
what? I'm gonna say the biggest disappointment of the week was Georgia for simply existing.
Okay, so we're really
It's
this
really
year is the
unfair what
Georgia
they do to
hate
that
train.
dog.
Oh
Like
no, it's
Paxton
week one.
has
It's week one.
to be like a humanitarian crime, right?
Oh my God. One of these, one of the days, the highlight, it's just gonna have to be a whole highlight thing across all episodes
It has to
of you
be.
just hating on this
It's a
dog.
humanitarian crisis. They're
It's out of
breeding these.
love. It's out
They're
of love.
no. They're breeding these dogs to die. We can't let them get
Poor
away with
Uga.
it.
Wait, what Uga number are we on?
Just like 11.
Oh no,
Oh
Lord.
no. Oh Lord. Georgia, man. You know, maybe that's my
Poor
main issue
Uga.
with Georgia. I feel like I'm gonna be PETA stepping in here, being like, we can't keep doing this to the dogs.
This is like, what was it? Was it Brian Kelly last year? It was like, we can't keep doing
We can't keep doing this.
this.
This is this podcast in relation to Uga.
Uga, we can't keep
We
doing
gotta we gotta break him out. We have to save him.
this is the 11th dog.
We oh God. It's unfair. This is such a it's like you look at how like dude, Mississippi State's also the Bulldogs, and they treat their Bulldogs well. What's the deal,
I
Georgia?
think,
Why,
I
why they gotta
mean,
be inbred?
tradition.
I feel bad.
Poor Uga.
Poor Uga, man.
Lord.
Oh Lord, man. And on that note,
We couldn't, no, we couldn't
we
have
couldn't go 1 week. We
a
couldn't.
peaceful week. It had to be
When have we ever
dog
been peaceful?
slander. It had to be
We had a
dog
whole
slander.
10-minute conversation last year about shoving gingers in cages and talking about how
We?
stereotypes are. Sorry, I did, and then you said stereotypes are good.
I said,
So let's be real. This is kind of tame for us. Red Zone's back and
I
immediately
said
canceled.
sometimes, sometimes they're correct. And I was talking about myself, okay?
What other stereotypes would you say are right, Riley?
I said I was talking to myself.
No, what other stereotypes do you think are correct?
Well, it's just mainly like you get the whole like concept of gaydar. It's based entirely on stereotypes. And that's
Well,
mainly what I'm like.
this seems like a deep conversation, not meant for the Red Zone
Not for
podcast.
this.
Not for the.
This is not the show for that.
And on
Lord.
that note, it's time to plug. Follow us on TikTok at the Red Zone Pod, Instagram, YouTube at the underscore Red Zone Podcast. Highlights where the YouTube video will be up tomorrow. Highlights will be up. Follow us on Spotify. Comment on Spotify. Comment on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Make sure that we become the number one podcast in college football. We will overtake Pat
If you
McAfee.
start locking in right now before Spotify stops collecting data for the Spotify Wrapped, we could be in your number one podcast.
If
So
you
I mean,
lock
like,
in, you could potentially, and hey, if someone texts us or shows us visible proof, and it's not photoshopped, that we are your number one podcast listened to on Spotify, we will shout you out in the episode following. We're gonna
got
stamp
it.
that right now. We will shout you out if we are your number one podcast.
Nothing exciting.
Um,
Just a
Also
nice
Red
little
Zone
shout out.
Gauge. Red Zone Gauge.
Um,
Um, 7.5
7.
out of 10.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
Anyways,
7.
7.
We'll give it a
Fair
7.
enough.
Not great week
Not,
one,
but
but
like it's solid.
let down by the fact that I think that two of the three real marquee matchup games
Weren't as
th
exciting as
weren't as
expected.
exciting as we thought they would be.
Yeah.
Well,
Overall,
we've
not a bad
plugged.
week.
Look forward to week two. We've plugged. We've played. Plug and play. Shout out to my Nintendo DS and Game Boy Advance homies. Um, Riley, do you have anything else to say? Any
I
lasting
don't
things
think
to leave
so.
to the viewers?
We're so back.
We're so back. We're so back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
So excited.
I'll leave you with this, dear viewer. In life, there are walls. You gotta knock them down. And on that note, as Riley's microphone goes mute, that was the Red Zone podcast. My name is Nate Cohen. I'm joined by
Lord.
my co-host as always, and we will see you next week, baby. Roll
Bye.
Tide.
Oh.